JMFW Worldwide. We're going to talk a little bit about Whopper Plopper, why I like it, what to look for, how to throw it, what to throw it on. Get ready. You know, fall time is the best Whopper Plopper time in my opinion. I like to find banks that have broken rock, big rock, shelf rock, ledge rock, something like this, that hey, you can look down this bank like this right here and you can say, oh, there's a good looking stretch there. Oh, there's a really good looking stretch coming up. That's the kind of stuff I visually look for outside the water. But some lakes, like here at Table Rock, if it's a little high, you might not see all these good looking stretches. You got to remember where these rocks are, kind of like this little pile right here. All right, all great targets for bank fishing in the fall. I'm looking for those bass that are sitting up in that rock or tight to cover, like a piece of wood or a little piece of brush or a stump or ledge or something like that. And instead of fishing a slower, effective lure, you know, this time of year is like a river to sea rover or a spook or something like that. This bait is much more efficient at covering water than a slow walking style bait. So I got my trolling motor on 70 right now, and again, I'm just not wasting any time. If he's up there, I feel like I'm got a chance to catch him. But if you never get in front of that bass, which there ain't tons of them up there, you want to cover this water as fast as you can. So my retrieve with the Whopper Plopper is a pretty steady retrieve with a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. I throw it on a 710 most of the time, a 710 punch rod. And I use in open water, I use a 50-pound Maxima braid. I will throw a Whopper Plopper all the way to Thanksgiving or the 1st of December when the water temperature's in the low to mid 50s. And don't be afraid of it. You know, we used to always just throw buzz baits. This is a great tool to use other than a buzz bait. It's got a lot of sound. You like the wind, like this wind we got here is really good for a Whopper Plopper bite. It's got just a little chop on the water. I don't do well with the Whopper Plopper when it's really slick calm. I gotta have just a little bit of a riffle of some sort and they can really dial in on that bait. And slick water, it's generally not that good of a bait. It's too aggressive, if that makes sense. They make 4 sizes of a Whopper Plopper and all of them have a little distinct sound to them, different than the others, all right? I'm throwing the 130 right now, which is my favorite, but when you get in a situation, we just made a run, we kind of got out of the wind, you can see it blowing out there on the main a little bit, kind of run back in here, go down a little stretch that I've caught them on, and you get back here and you don't have that wind and it's a lot thicker. This 130 is a little violent for it. So the smart thing for me to do would be jump down and tie on a new 110 that plops a little less, or even a more subtle sound, and that'd be the 90 version, the small Whopper Plopper. So you kind of got to shift gears a little bit. It's kind of like throwing spinner baits. You know, do you throw a Indiana blade double willow leaf or a Colorado type spinner bait in the conditions that you like to do that? Well, Whopper Ploppering is no different. You got all sorts of different conditions that you need to throw, you know, the 3 different sizes. I didn't mention the 4th size, I'm sorry, the 190. That's the giant one where you just throw it where you got a chance of catching like tuna, sharks, mermaids, and giant jellyfish, and a muskie. That's when the 90 comes into play. So if you have any of those fish in your lake, you want to throw a 190. There's a lot of different ways you can fish this Whopper Plopper. I'm pretty just standard throw and reel type of guy, but you can fish it like an old devil's horse. You can throw it out there. You can take that bait and stop and go on a pool. You can throw it up there and not pull, but just rip it. Some guys like to do that. I'm more of a just straight, throw it out there, don't think, just crank kind of guy, like that right there. All right, well, I hope these tips help you gain some confidence with the Whopper Plopper, and if you haven't tried it, hopefully it gives you some confidence to go at least buy one and try out the River to Sea Whopper Plopper this fall. Get you one.